The innovation that we need today is a way to fund large-scale new projects to get off the ground because the old methods, waiting for appropriations by government, will not suffice anymore. But we have examples of how debt funding has been used creatively, and it's these that we need to expand upon and generalize. For example, the project in California, the California Institute of Regenerative Medicine, $3 billion worth of bonds were sold in 2005 to be spent over a decade or two to develop stem cell research, development, innovation, venture capital for new firms. This has created a stem cell industry across California, the results of which will be seen in coming decades.
What are your concrete recommendations then for governments, business people, and academics?
My recommendations first is to come together, create a consensus space to discuss the gaps, ways to fill them, how to do projects jointly, what should be the mechanisms that could be imported from elsewhere, adapted, reformulated, and made to work in your context.
Do you see that there's a particular leading country or leading area in this? Is this someone we can look up to copy?
Well, there are many interesting innovations around the world that can be moved from one place to another. I often look to Brazil, for example, because I've seen how they've creatively adapted the incubator model. They saw its essence as a way of teaching a group of people to work together as an organization, and have used this to promote high-tech firms, medium-tech firms, fill out clusters, even to create jobs for poor people from the favelas by organizing them into cooperatives.
Let's talk for a minute about the role of civil society. You've presented this as the launchpad for the triple helix. Do you see this as separate from the core of innovation?
The core of innovation is coming up with new ideas and putting them into practice. If there is one source of ideas, that's going to be fairly limited. If it comes top down, only from government, or only from industry, or only from the university. But how to have them percolate and infuse each other. This is the role of civil society, to provide places for people to come together, to discuss, create new ventures, not only business ventures, but ventures that are broader, what I called innovations in innovations, new formats for promoting innovation.
A recent growing trend we've seen, or maybe a growing label, is the idea of user-led innovation. How does that fit in here? Well,
users are often thought of in terms of customers for a particular service or product or problem to be solved. Now, of course, this is quite relevant, but broader than a particular concrete innovation is the whole concept of how to create new formats to promote innovation. That is where the role of civil society and the triple helix comes in. But all of these are interconnected and are interrelated ideas, of course.